It's been more than a month since Summer Games Fest 2023 went live, hyping and highlighting big, highly anticipated projects like Square Enix's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Mortal Kombat 1, Nick Cage in Dead by Daylight, taking a cue from the master Keanu there.
You're breathtaking!
One can say that the hype was undoubtable. But there were several other games that were overlooked, and we're gonna tell you which ones you should look out for. I'm Bina, and this is Summer Games Fest 2023 Recap. Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria. You might be surprised he placed this game on the list after, well, the global travesty that was the Gollum game. A game that was so ill-received that the devs even officially apologized for it. Not only that, but the studio, Daedalic Entertainment, was shut down after this dramatic failure. Yikes. But here's the thing, the world of Middle-earth is just teeming with the most vibrant lands and deepest lore. We've seen games set in J.R.R. Tolkien's work that have done really well, like Shadow of Mordor. So this is us saying that we should keep an open mind about the return to Moria. The Mines of Moria was once a thriving dwarven city that was lost when a Balrog, a menacing entity wreathed in flames, overtook the mines. In the Third Age of Middle-earth, many dwarves valiantly fought to protect their home during the attack, but sadly perished, turning Moria into a giant graveyard. However, with the dawn of the Fourth Age comes a band of dwarves set on taking back what is theirs. So we think we should at least give Return to Moria a shot. We're crossing our fingers hard that the team is pouring themselves into the project, and hopefully they can avoid the need to write another apology letter. Waiting decades deep in the quiet sand is the Prince of Persia, a franchise that had not surfaced since 2010. So it's probably safe to say people have been waiting for more than a decade to see Ubisoft announce in this year's SGF, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. With the game having not been in the public consciousness for a while, it's going to be very interesting to see how the studio will take it out from the sands and into the sun once again. Ubisoft claims that The Lost Crown will become a modern take on the legendary franchise. The trailer they revealed was adrenaline-inducing, with a vibrant art style and epic-level exploration showcase. We don't know much aside from that, but the game is set to be released on January 18, 2024. We cannot wait to see what Ubisoft sifts out from these sands. In a sea of AAA titles, it's always pretty refreshing to see an indie game take its own spotlight. And indie or not, the team back at Brave at Night held their own with the teaser trailer to their new game, Yes Your Grace: Snowfall. The game is another installment to Brave at Night's first Yes Your Grace, a kingdom management game where the fate of your people rests in your decision-making skills. Snowfall sticks to its roots, while also adding a mystical Slavic twist. Your worries are focused on agitated townsfolk and invading armies as before, but now there are also arcane dabblings and surprise leshy attacks. The game looks charming and vibrant, a breath of fresh air amidst the plethora of titles boasting of sharp realistic CGI and visual effects. Yes Your Grace: Snowfall is definitely a game to keep an eye on. Okay, for this one, there may be some hype when the trailer for FF7 Ever Crisis dropped, but if you place this game beside its sibling on the much more hyped up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it's pretty obvious to see who stole most of the limelight.
What's Cloud been doing these past 5 years?
But Ever Crisis is a game teeming with intrigue and filled with perhaps the biggest lore drops. The game features a familiar and unfamiliar cast, showcasing people like Zack and Aerith in brand new outfits, and maybe even abilities. They announced at SGF that they were releasing free registration for the closed beta that has been ongoing since then. Players have been immersing themselves in the game, giving both good and not so good reviews. The game seems to boast great graphics and a more in-depth look into the world of FF7 in its current incarnation. But there are also concerns around some unstable connection issues and erratic battle pacing. But then again, it's still in beta, so we're sure the devs are taking much needed notes to perfect the formula. Ever Crisis is somewhat of a departure from the format the FF7 verse usually finds itself in. The game looks to focus on younger Sephiroth and his soldier days, giving players more glimpses into the past of one of Final Fantasy's most iconic antagonists.
では、敵だな。
Now, this game came out of left field, but in a good way. Fae Farm is a game developed and published by Phoenix Labs, a cozy farm sim game with an adorable art style to boot. The game was previously planned to only release on the Switch, but it is now going to be heading its way towards the PC as well. The trailer shows the exploration of an Alice in Wonderland-esque fantasy realm named Azoria, where you thrive with fae folk in this enchanting place where you can explore scenic routes, cultivate your lands, and strengthen your bonds and feel like you belong. And in a world full of chaos and a summer games fest full of the most epic action-packed titles hurtling your way, having a game like Fae Farm should help you unwind a little and think about fun and cute things that make you feel relaxed and safe. I mean, look how adorable everything is. Closing this list off with something with more depth, players should take a look at Under the Waves. Developed by Parallel Studio and published by Quantic Dream, Under the Waves takes you on a 20,000 League adventure. This quiet and somber nautical title is as calming as if the players have truly been taken into the deep of the North Sea. Illusions are abound in these deep, dark places, and the deeper you dive into solitude, perhaps the deeper you will dive into yourself within. In a sea of different genres, we have a little bit of a soft spot for narrative-driven games like this. Under the Waves seems to aim to explore the complexities of the human experience in something charming and contained, exposing glimpses of drama and one's past, all in a surreal, aquatic setting. The game is set to be released on August 23, 2023. Which of these games have piqued your interest? Don't get too excited though, but it is still going to be a wild ride for video games. You better keep yourselves buckled and get ready for the flood of games to come. But rest assured, we here at Game8 got your back to keep you up to date with all things gaming. We can't wait for the next year's Summer Games Fest to come and showcase more games from every kind of genre. And don't you think we'll forget about the other directs and events coming our way as well. But for now, this is Bina signing off.